Hi guys, my name is Trinh and right now I am sitting on the floor. I'm here to do a quick introduction, so there are some things that I want to mention before you can watch the video. First of all, I just want to say that this is a spoiler-free reading vlog. I really tried to make it spoiler-free because I want it to be accessible to everyone. It is about a specific book, so I want to make sure that everyone can watch this video even though you have not read the book. With that said, I do want to list the trigger warnings because this book can be very explicit and graphic. So there are a lot of really horrible things that happen. Cheating, beating, killing cats, killing, rape, incest. So for this reading vlog is much different from the ones that I have done in the past because it's about one specific book. There are multiple sections, so I will have the timestamps down in the description box below. And of course, what's really special about this video is that this should be up on May 3rd because May 4th is my 1-year anniversary with Jonathan, so I'm very happy about that. And of course, I've been working on this video for like weeks and I'm actually pretty happy with everything, so I really want to get this video up a day before our anniversary. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this up, and that's about it for the intros. And now you can watch the reading vlog, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Hi guys,
my name is Trinh.
My name is Trinh, yes. What's your name? His name is Jonathan.
Is that like a reference to the movie?
So today, I'm gonna read my boyfriend's favorite book of all time. The title is a little bit misleading because it's kind of clickbaity. I'm pretty sure this is one of your favorite books of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. It's up there.
But would you say it's number one?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's really hard to choose a number one.
So I'm reading one of his favorite books of all time. The package is right here.
Oh yeah, it's open. I told you, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to show you what it is on camera because I don't know what it is.
You guessed, kind of.
Did I? Oh yeah, I know that is a book by Murakami. Just want to say my hair is in a bun. I'm very self-conscious that my head is so much bigger.
You look beautiful.
At least my skin looks good, thank you. Alright, so we're gonna find out what it is. Kafka on the Shore. Okay.
The book I really wanted to give you was Wind Up Bird Chronicle. That's probably my favorite book by him.
Okay.
That's also 600 pages, so it doesn't really fit the
limit.
Yeah, the limit that we set up for each other.
Yeah, basically we have a limit. I said that it has to be a standalone, and then the page count has to be like roughly 500. So this hits it, right? Like 5.
It's like 505.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I hope.
Wait, let me look at this copy. 467.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's not too bad. I think it's because maybe it's in paperback and the format is much different. Like I know that the cover is different. Like this is the new cover.
Yeah, that's the new cover.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I like the old cover.
You like the old covers? Oh, I should have got.
Okay.
I was looking for it. It's so hard to find.
No, it's fine. It's out of print.
It's out of print.
It's fine. Can I see the old cover? Because the thing is, what the. Because the thing is, I used to watch this YouTuber. She does fashion videos and stuff, and sometimes makeup videos. Her name is Jen Nim, and she is Korean American. And there was a video that she did like 3 years ago, like her favorite books of all time or something like that. And she recommended Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. So this is the old cover, and this is the new cover. This looks classic because when I look at this, I know that it's by him. Yeah. That was like iconic. Like even though I have never read any of his books, I'm familiar with his book covers. So yeah, this one's much better.
Yeah, and
I still like this.
Like his new book covers, I mean, I don't like them because they're like kind of glossy. If you, as you can see, they're kind of glossy.
Really? Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of that. The guy who redid the book covers, he like made up a map, and each map like connects all the book covers together. I also chose this book because like right around when we first like truly became friends, I remember I was working in my essay for Kafka on the Shore. Yeah. Remember those many years ago?
It's been a while. We have written a lot of essays.
Yeah, but that's when we became like friends. So that's why I was like, this would be special to get to read.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
So I guess I'm reading Kafka on the Shore.
Can I say another thing? The thing with his books is that they have like themes that he, I guess, touches on in all of his books, and reoccurring images. Like he's really into cats. He talks about jazz a lot. Missing people and finding someone is really a reoccurring topic in his books, and he's just really weird. And it's also kind of gory sometimes.
I've heard a lot about him, so I'm kind of excited to finally read this. And then also I do want to acknowledge that since I'm reading my boyfriend's favorite book of all time, the whole purpose is not to bash on it. I think it's just to like read something that he loves and then connect with you like why you love it and stuff.
Yeah, because we had different like reading tastes.
Yeah, we really have different reading tastes. I'll start it whenever. I'm busy right now, but what was that?
That was the thing that people do.
Oh my god. Hi, I filmed the intro with Jonathan weeks ago and I finally have the damn time to read Kafka on the Shore. So right now I am on page 105. I think I'm going to update every 100 pages or so because this book has roughly 470 pages. But first, let me tell you what this book is about. So this book follows two main characters. One is Kafka and then one is Nagata. So I believe there are two different storylines, but I have a feeling, well, I think they are going to connect to each other. So Kafka, he is 15 years old and he runs away from his home because he's trying to find his long lost mother and sister. On the way, he meets some other characters. He meets this girl named Sakura, and then also he loves the library, so he would meet other characters at the library. So that is the first storyline. As for the second storyline, I feel like I'm more interested in this one because this is really strange. So back in 1944, there was an incident that happened and it's called the Rice Bowl incident. There are like a lot of groups of students basically falling unconscious for a few hours and then they would wake up and everything is fine. This school teacher, she and her students were on like a field trip or something. They were on a hill and then suddenly 16 of the students, literally all of them, fell unconscious, but hours later they wake up and they're perfectly fine. Well, woke up. This happened in the past. However, there is one student who did not wake up with the other students and his name is Nagata. So that is the second, or like one of the main characters, sorry. This poor kid was unconscious for a long time, but you know, eventually he woke up. However, when he woke up, he forgot everything. Literally, his memory is completely gone. He did not remember his name, his parents' name. He can't even read and write. Here's the thing, I'm very upset about that because we see him when he's 60 years old. He constantly repeats that he's dumb, he's not smart, he cannot read, he cannot write, and then he talks about his parents a little bit. It's just so depressing because before the phenomenon, he was a really bright student, he got good grades, but the thing is, in the present time, he can speak to cats. That's basically the synopsis when it comes to this book. I have some things to say. I've been taking notes. Let's start with the things that I noticed when it comes to the description of women. Roughly a year ago, Jonathan told me that Murakami does not write women well, and he's correct, okay? Kafka meets this woman named Sakura. They meet on the bus. There's just something about her that I don't trust, okay? I don't trust her. But anyway, when they first meet, they sit next to each other and then she falls asleep on his shoulder. And then Kafka is like describing him, but the thing is, you must know, he's a very horny teenager. So the way he describes her really makes me uncomfortable because it's like, oh my god, is this how boys look at women? Basically, he describes her boobs, okay? He looks down and he's like, oh my god, her breasts are amazing. The really gross part is that he just thinks to himself like, maybe she can be my long lost sister, and then he still looks at her breasts. Wow, okay? That's wild. Another instance is on page 90. This is really gross, okay? So I just read this chapter like an hour ago and I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this because this shit is disgusting to me. Something happened to him and he's like frantic. He doesn't know what to do because in a way he's on this journey alone. He calls her up. Oh yeah, the woman, Sakura. She gives him her phone number. He calls her and then he's at her apartment. They cannot sleep. She invites him to sleep with her on the bed and she says, hey, I have a boyfriend in Tokyo, okay? I'm not gonna have sex. I love him very much, okay? Don't think about it. And then of course he has an erection and she pulls out his boxer and gives him a hand job. Literally after that whole fucking speech about I'm not gonna cheat, okay? Well, she says I'm not gonna have sex, but like literally it means that you're not gonna cheat. Fine, but how the fuck? I don't know why she would do something like this. Her excuse is that he has such a long day. He's going through it, you know, he's so stressed and she's doing this because she wants him to relax. And I was like, fuck this bullshit, because number one, that's cheating. Number two, he's a minor. He's 15 years old. He lies about being 17, but we know that he's 15. And the thing is, I don't know this woman's age. So I don't know if things are different in Japan. I need to look that up. And of course, the cherry on top. So after that hand job, they let me just look at this. Yeah, he finished. She asked him like, hey, do you feel better? And he says, oh yes, definitely. And then she's like, okay, good. She says, I was thinking how nice it would be if I was your real sister. And he says, Me too. I was like, are y'all serious? This shit is disgusting. It's so gross. She just gives him a hand job, and then like right after that she's like, hey, maybe it would be nice if I was your real sister. It's like, don't say that, okay? That's just gross. But I think that's about it for my update. So far I am enjoying this book. I really hope that my theory is correct, because something did happen to Kafka, but at the same time I don't really care about his storyline. I do care, sorry, I don't want to say that. I do care. I'm just not happy with that scene with the girl. I was angry, okay? You don't understand. Literally, I woke up and I was like, okay, time to read 2 more chapters of this book. And then I read that chapter. I was bamboozled, y'all. So far, I'm not a big fan of this relationship. I really hope to God it will not develop further, because it's like, nah, man, I can't deal with this shit. Like, he's a minor, so I need to look it up, okay? So I'll update you next time if it's okay for this shit to happen. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit more. Okay, hi. Oh, you can see the glare, so I'm gonna take off my glasses, but hello. So right now I am on page 218. A lot of things have happened, so let me pull up my notes. First, let's talk about that scene that I mentioned previously. So that handjob scene. Turns out the age of consent in Japan is 13. I looked it up literally like hours after I filmed that clip, and I was like, god damn it, I look like a damn fool in that clip, because I talk about how he's a minor and stuff. From like the American point of view, yes, he is a minor because he's only 15. I guess in Japan it's much different, so I don't want to say too much about it, because I still don't like that scene. It's really gross because she has a boyfriend, but then also after it happened, she literally said, hey, wouldn't it be nice if I was your real sister? Who would say shit like this after a hand job? But anyway, moving on. Like I said, there are 2 different storylines, one about Kafka and then one about Mr. Nakata. Let's talk about Kafka real quick. First of all, I'm very jealous that Kafka meets this amazing guy, and basically he just gives him this room in the library. That's like a fucking dream, okay? It sounds so freaking cool. But not just that, we learn information about the other characters. So for example, Miss Seki, she is in charge of the library. Her story is so fucking sad. Basically, when she was very young, her boyfriend, the love of her life, was killed, and she was never the same after that. And then we have another character named Oshima, and I really like his character. He's a decent guy, so at first I was really iffy about him because he's like really nice, okay? Too nice sometimes, but now that I get to know more about him, I really like him. If you don't know, well, of course you don't know, he is a transgender man. Well, actually I was not surprised because Jonathan did mention that there is a transgender character in this book. So when we find out that Oshima is transgender, I was like, okay, so this is a character that we're going to see. I think that's basically it for Kafka's storyline. There is something happening with his father and stuff, but that is very spoilery, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But now, let's talk about Mr. Nagata, because I love him so much. He is such a sweet and kind old man. I feel so damn bad for him. I literally just finished reading a chapter about his life, so what happened after that incident, and how basically he couldn't really go to school, so he worked on the field and then he made furnitures and stuff. I love him, I really do. I feel really bad for him, but not just that, I think he's a really great person. So you must know that this book can be pretty violent. I think it was yesterday. I was reading this one chapter. It was so fucking disgusting. Like I said, Mr. Nakata can talk to cats, and there is a cat who was missing. This family was like, hey, can you find our cat? Goma, that's the cat's name. So he's like, yeah, I can do that. And then we learned that there is this hunter. His name is Johnny Walker. He kills cats, okay? This man is notorious for killing cats, and we actually see him do this. With that chapter, it's so triggering, it's very explicit, and the shit that he does grosses me out. I almost threw up yesterday because I was like, I can't handle this. I did finish the chapter, but it was really fucking disgusting. I will try to be brief about this because, like I said, it's really graphic. So this man, Johnny Walker, he had 5 cats. He killed 3 of them. We see him do this. Mr. Nakata sees him do this, and basically he would slit the body. This is the disgusting part. He eats their hearts, and then he cuts off their head. So he would save the head and then just threw away the body. We see him do this to 3 fucking cats, and I was like, fuck this bullshit. I think that's all I have to say about that, because there is one important thing that happened at the end of that chapter, but it is spoilery. Hopefully I can finish this book really quickly because I am curious about the ending. Anyway, hi. Right now I'm on page 313, so I read at least 100 pages. Let's just say that this book is so weird. So this is a magical realism. The things that happen in this book normally, you know, it would never happen in real life. From page 200 to 300, Kafka meets a ghost, a living ghost. It turns out that it is a ghost of young Miss Seiki. So if you don't remember, Miss Seiki is the head of the library. Basically, when she was very young, she lost her lover, her boyfriend, the love of her life, basically. Kafka sees a ghost of her. So in this book, in the present time, she's like at least 50 years old, and the ghost that he sees is when she was only 15, so she's much younger. The first time that he saw the ghost, he was like, oh my god, I'm attracted to her. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Every time Kafka gets horny, I get so mad about it, because it's like, oh my god, I have to read this shit, and I kind of don't like it. I don't know why. I just get annoyed whenever Kafka is like, oh my god, I'm in love, oh my god, I want her, and all that stuff. Now he's attracted to this ghost, and then also he's attracted to Misaki, who is at least 50 years old. He's 15, okay? Like, let's fucking remember that. There is a prophecy, and I don't want to tell you what it is because it's very spoilery, but this prophecy is being played out right now. So I do feel bad that Kafka is in a way a victim of this prophecy, because his dad has no chill, okay? His dad told him this prophecy when he was very young, and it's a really fucked up prophecy, okay? Now let's go to Mr. Nagata. He's traveling to the same place. I'm pretty sure it's the same place that Kafka is in right now. So I wonder if their paths will cross. I have a feeling that it will. He's traveling and he meets this guy. His name is Hoshino, and he's a really nice guy. I believe he's like a truck driver, and they're trying to find this entrance stone. The thing is, I don't remember how this thing is being played out, because that thing happened with Johnny Walker. Mr. Nagata is like, I gotta leave town. Out of nowhere, he's just like, I need to find an entrance stone. I feel like that part really came out of nowhere, because I don't remember the entrance stone being mentioned before this journey. Yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this book, and I'll come back when I reach page 413. Right now it's literally midnight, 12:36 to be exact. I'm on page 413, so I'm about to be done with this damn book, okay? It's really wild that when it comes to Kafka's storyline, I always get mad. Like I said, this book is magical realism. Weird shit happens all the fucking time in this book. So there is this one incident. I hated this. Oh my god, Kafka is pissing me off. This scene contains rape. So trigger warning, rape is in this. But it's like really hard to explain because it happens in a dream. So basically, Kafka has a dream that he's having sex with this girl. But what's really weird is that she wakes up and then she's like telling him to like get off. Oh my god, the responses, I was so mad because when I was just reading what he was saying to her, I'm just like, okay, this is not okay. Like, I was very uncomfortable and I got the vibe that this is really weird, really freaky, unacceptable. Okay, it's right here. He's having a dream. She is in the dream. He puts his dick inside her and she wakes up and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, it would seem that I'm inside you. I was so angry because it seems very sarcastic. And then she's like, why? Didn't I tell you that's off limits? And then he says, I can't help it. When I read that, I got pissed. I was like, shut the fuck up, get off of her. And then she says, stop already, get out of me. And then he says, I can't. And then she's like, listen to me, you need to get out, okay? Like, this is not okay. And then what's really weird is that she said, you have come into my dream without permission. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is a dream, but it just seems so real because both characters are in a way conscious. Like, the fact that we have this girl saying that, hey, stop, get off of me, right here. She covers her face with her hands and cries a little. You feel sorry for her, but there's no way you're going to leave her body. She says, I understand, she says. I won't say it anymore, but I want you to remember something. You're raping me. I like you, but this isn't how I want it to be. And then he rapes her. I'm so angry. But I do kind of like the fact that a few chapters later, Kafka, oh yeah, the main character is doing the raping, okay? That's what's really fucked up about this. The main character, he was saying, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have raped her. I was like, yeah, you shouldn't have, you dumbass. Okay, it's right here, page 387. I shouldn't have raped her, even if it was in a dream. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this book and then I will do a final update tomorrow. Hello, I have finished Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I finished this book late last night, so I'm finally doing an update the next day. I believe the last time that I did an update was when I was on page 413. I finished the book and the ending was actually quite nice. I'm not gonna lie, after I finished this book, I had to go on Reddit to read the discussion and just read what people have to say about this book. When it comes to this, it does not give you a straight answer, okay? Basically, Murakami takes you on a journey, and then at the end you either get what just happened or you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then of course this morning Jonathan sent me a link about this book, so I believe someone just wrote an entire article dedicated to this book. So it turns out there's a, how do I say this, but basically there's like, I don't know. Okay, has anyone seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? You know how in that show we have like the real world and the spirit world? It's kind of like that. I think my favorite character has to be Mr. Nagata. I love him so much. And then for Kafka, I don't hate him as much. I think yesterday I was just shitting on him. Now that I have read the article about this book, I kind of understand what really happened. And then also, oh my god, this is a retelling of Oedipus. Is that how you say it? If you're not familiar with that story, it's basically about a guy who killed his father and married his mom. This is a retelling of that. That's what Jonathan has said to me. What's really crazy was that whenever I bring up certain things in this book, he would say, yeah, it's a retelling of this. I would read his text, but it didn't really hit me. I will link the article in the description box below. I think it's a pretty decent article. I do agree with what the writer said about this book and how everything happened. Honestly, this was a journey. This is really different for me because I never really read magical realism. Sometimes I just get confused and then sometimes I get fed up because I feel like with that genre, weird shit happens and you just kind of have to accept them as it is. But for me, I'm like, no, I need explanation. I need things to be sorted out. So that's why I don't really read a lot of books that have magical realism. I really enjoyed this book. I'm not planning to read anything from him for a little while because this book was really trippy. But then also I have a lot of books in my TBR and I rather focus reading the books that I already have. So maybe in the future, maybe next year, I will read another book from him. Overall, I really enjoyed this book and I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, I finished this book. It took me a damn week, but I'm really happy that I'm done with this. So yeah, hi, it's me again. I finished the book like almost 3 weeks ago. I'm here to do the outro because oh my god, doing this video was actually a pain. I was supposed to have a discussion section. Me and Jonathan were supposed to talk about this book. We filmed it like twice, but it just failed miserably. I cut that out. So this reading vlog is going to be spoiler free. So there are some things that I do want to talk about. We talk about like our favorite characters and such. Obviously, my favorite character is Mr. Nagata. For Jonathan, he says that he loves Oshima and Hoshino. That's their names, right? Holy shit, I don't remember. He really adored the side characters. Meanwhile, I adore Mr. Nagata. And then of course we talk about the rape scene in the dream and I ask him like, what was the purpose of that? I think we talk about how maybe that's like the tipping point for Kafka, the main character, because it happened and then he's just like, I don't like myself anymore, and then he tried to commit suicide or something like that. I like how I read this book like a few weeks ago and I don't remember shit anymore. And then of course the writing, I really adore the writing. It was actually so nice. In the future, I would love to have Jonathan read my favorite book of all time. I have a book in mind for like the past few months, so I really want him to read that. The final thing that I want to say is thank you to Jonathan for giving me this book because he bought me this copy. So I'm very grateful for this. And then of course, happy anniversary to the love of my life. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. And I know that you're watching this video, so well, he better watch this video when it comes out. So Jonathan, when you're done with this, text me, okay? thank you so much. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.